ability of the president to effectively address insecurity in Nigeria as low. Do you think that score was deserving?
Daniel, yesterday I was discussing with my husband and I was saying that, you know what? I agree with them. They don't need to call them. Why do they want to call them? What do they want to say? You called Mr. President, who is the chief of commander of armed forces, right? And he said he was coming. And later on, he said he's not coming. And over the months or years, we have been saying, can you change your security chiefs? Can you change them? And he is saying that as far as I'm concerned, they are doing so well. But we know from our own, how do I call it? From our own observations, they are not doing so well because people are killed every day. There are issues of insecurity every day. So that means you are not doing so well. Now you now say, okay, because Mr. President is not coming. Okay, let me now talk to the chief. What do they want to say? When they themselves know that they're not doing so well, but the president is protecting them. So why do you want to waste time? I mean, that's from my own perspective. Because if they come, well, yes, they will come, and then what do you want to get from them? The person who is saying that they are doing well, I mean, you called him, he didn't come. So they will just come and just waste your time. I mean, for me, I don't know what they want to say. The only thing they probably want to say is that, yes, you know, we are working. Mr. President has actually said we are working. So we are working. What else?
The chairman of the Senate Public Accounts Committee lamented that the National Assembly has exhausted all avenues to make Buhari tackle insecurity. He actually said here that we stood up here to say that the service chiefs should be changed. The more you say, the more annoying it is the president. It is the president, and he will never change.
Exactly.
He says, therefore, Mr. President, please, the president must be compelled to act on Senate resolution. I am not saying that Mr. President should be impeached. No, it would be premature, but let us compel him to sit up and obey our resolution.
Fantastic.
Questions that comes to mind.
Yes.
Have the Senate lost that credibility to make the president listen to their resolution?
You see, they abide by the Constitution, right? Thank God in the Constitution you can do the vote of no confidence, and that leads to impeachment. Thank God we have that. But you see, it's a process.
Can that be the case?
If it gets to that, Daniel, it will get to that. But let the president not push them to that.
With the trend we see at the National Assembly right now, Nkechi, the Senate has been called different names. The Senate had been named the Rubber Stamp Senate. The Senate have been called the Yes Sir to Mr. President. They've been given a couple of names. And do you see them having the capacity? As much as, yes, there is a law that gives them the authority to do this, but there is a capacity that comes with that office. They have that capacity as members of the Senate.
Yes, true. So they have the capacity. And when you were saying, you were asking Buki about the vote of no confidence and all of that, if possible impeachment, I was just smiling because, you know, this tenure has just been it has been funny. It has been funny so that we see people that have, should I say, power. So let me use the word power, but it just looks like they're not able to use it. And I'm not saying like one statement you were reading that, oh, you should now quickly rush to go and impeach. No, that's not what we are saying, because anyways, where's the better replacement at this time, apart from even the process of, so who do we have to come in that will be able to take us to where we want to be, that is ready right now? Maybe 2023 the person will be ready, but right now, can we say we have someone? That is a very important question to have to ask. So for now, I just see them just really, I don't want to say playing to his tunes, but just trying to take things easy. Another thing I also want to take things easy, the best way, I would say the president is working according to the president is a pace or so. I also wanted to say that I was listening to a show yesterday when some people from the north called in, because you know a lot of times we speak very critically of the security, and Adamawa, Kaduna, and so they were saying that all things are going on, I don't say great, but things are better over there. that, oh, maybe because we're in the southwest, we don't know, things are not as bad as it used to be, things are better, although they still said that the president can do better. So, at least coming from that angle of just people that are in the north, we are now wondering, so is the president working? May he be working, but maybe he's not making as much noise, hearing those feedback from people in the north? I don't know. I do not stay in the north, but what we are seeing generally is very worrisome. So now we have people saying, oh, so we keep when we talk about the service chief, we say, oh, they are working, or the president says, oh, they are working. So are they actually working? They are working. What are some of the things they are doing? Can we bring it to limelight? Because this situation where we have the presidents keeping quiet, everybody keeping mute, so to speak, when it comes to important issues, is not really helping the citizens understand what is going on. And I think that that is one gap that it was important that I shed more light on, and that we actually talk about. So if they are working in a particular capacity, can we see it? And when they are not working, can they then now be very clear on what they want to do? That way we're able to bring a balance, and it's not like we are just out there just wanting to criticize the president, so to speak.
Well, you see, if I should add to that, I disagree a little bit about what you have said in terms of the fact that some northern people have come up and maybe Mr. President is doing it and all that and all that.
The generality,
generality is that we are seeing, as long as Nigerians are killed every day, they're adopted every day, there's terrorism every day, and this thing keeps rising. We cannot continue to say Mr. President is doing well, even if the Mr. President had done so well before. Now something has changed. Mind you, the House has it. You see, you might be saying that according to Daniels, to issues of the heart, when they see that this thing is already affecting them, they are our representatives. And if you really look at the Constitution, a larger part of them, they're coming from the north because of the way they have structured it. So if we could have 1/3 of them move that motion and they begin to press, Daniel, what we are saying will change. So even if you have been supporting Mr. President, over time, just say, come, am I mad? Because by the time this thing begins to move, say we are talking about north, when it begins to move towards us, the way it is in the north, you think people will not stand up? But my own is, let Mr. President hear. They say it is in Yoruba, they say so that the deaf will hear. That is why they are talking in front of the child who is not deaf. You understand? So they are telling the president they have the weapon, but they don't want to use the weapon. But please don't make them to use that weapon.
All right, 29 minutes to 9. This is still the newspaper review on Women Radio 91.7. Do well to send us a text or a WhatsApp message on 070-317-56537. 070-317-56537. Okay, now we have a couple of messages here. Martin Zinoshi says, good morning to Dan and Mbuki and Nkechi. After listening to the headlines with news from the north, south, east, and west, I just don't know what else to say. We have come to the point of, if God does not help us, we are finished. On the issue of impeachment by Senate, forget about that, because the principal officers were replaced there by the executive and cannot bite. All right, that is Martins in Oshodi. Yeah. All right. Gilbert from Agbado says, good morning, WFM. On the NTC registration number with national ID, what are their plans to speed the registration process of the national ID card? Because the process of the registration is too slow. Again, why are people clamoring for 2023 election instead of finding a solution to the present insecurity situation in the country and untold hardship in the lives of the common Nigerian? Nigeria is fighting corruption, but we are not paying NEPA bill without. We are still paying NEPA bill without meters. We are paying taxes without verification number. But if this comes to little things to benefit common man, verification becomes necessary. May God help Nigeria. Imagine them charging as high as 6,000 naira fee from Lagos to Ibadan train. Well, that's for the business class. Business class, according to them, is 6,000. Well, it's definitely a mess. All right. Elder Johnson in the Moody says, Nigeria Army as of today. Okay. I'm not going to degrade the military with this your message. I'm sorry, Elder Johnson. All right. Rosenja Mutiu in Alakbere says, like many Nigerians had been saying, Boko Haram is being sponsored by people in government, and this would make it difficult for the Nigerian army to win the battle. Government needs to look inward and fish out people sabotaging the efforts of the Nigerian army, saying poverty is in the land because of stampede at Christmas giveaway is not enough. Nigerians must be cautioned to behave themselves in cases like this. All right, Rosenja Mutiu in Alakbere. All right, let's take some more text messages here. 070-317-56537. It says, good morning, Dan, Buki, Nkechi, and not for public consumption. All right, JM Kazim in Obadore. Bright in the Sherry says, good morning to you at WFM. Please let me tell you that all the analysis that we do does not go beyond Lagos because is one Nigeria and the northern is another Nigeria. So what is happening in the north now they know. So I congratulate them. So come to think of the 17 students that escaped from the bandit, why can't they show us on national TV as citizens to see what is happening? I am beginning to suspect the figure in Aso Rock. This is coming from Bright in Sherry. Well, on the issue of the children who escaped and they were not shown on national TV, I'm not sure. I'm not a security expert, but I think for security reasons, those children's faces would not be put out on the media. Their faces were never supposed to be on the media in the first place. They were children just going to school, living a quiet life.
I don't even think parents will want
Want
just
that, yes.
that's the least thing that
Mhm.
they want right now.
All right, let's take some more headlines here this morning. 070-317-56537. And also, you can tweet at us this morning at WFM917 to be part of this conversation. Let's still talk insecurity for a moment. The This Day newspaper has the headline, says military moves support seeking help from US AFRICOM to rescue adopted pupils. So the military is considering many options, including seeking external help to rescue over 300 schoolboys of the government's science secondary school in Castina. A top military officer confided in the This Day yesterday that one of the options being considered is for the federal government to seek assistance from the United States Africa Command to launch a rescue bid leveraging on its sophisticated technology for such operations. Besides, the military also dismissed claim by Boko Haram that it masterminded the adoption of the pupils last Friday. It described the claim of the terror organization made yesterday by its acclaimed leader, Mr. Abubakar Sheikh, as mere propaganda. Amidst efforts to rescue the pupils, Katsina State Governor Honorable Aminu Masari said 17 pupils out of the 333 schoolboys he had earlier said could not be accounted for had escaped from their captors. Another report, however, claimed that 2 of the adopters might have been killed. The senator has, however, summoned the defense minister and security chiefs over the adoption, in addition to the ongoing joint operation launched by the military and other security agencies rescuing the pupils would be faster with help from AFRICOM. Now, I took this yesterday holistically on, I didn't even see this coming. I took this yesterday on the big question that is it time for us to seek for external help? And about 60% of the calls yesterday disagreed on us seeking external help, saying we have what it takes to be able to deal with these issues on our own. We don't need external help. But I like to get your opinion at the level that we have found ourselves. We've not still recovered the Chibok girls. Leah Sharibul is still there, and this is adding to that number. I would not want to be part of that news every morning again, saying it's so number of days, and the boys from the Kankara Katsina State School have not yet returned. I don't want to be part of that story. Shouldn't we be jumping right up at every help we can get?
For me, there is no harm in seeking help. Help is needed when the challenges are more than what you can cope. The way God has designed us, we need one another's support. So I do not see the reason why they cannot seek for help. But these are my concerns. I have reservations concerning that. They say they are still considering, and I'm wondering that even with a little bit of my education, they should have had some agreements not necessarily show us, not necessarily tell us, but there should have been some MOUs, an understanding between them that at any point in time when we need you, we will call on your help. And what do you need? Because if by now they say they are still considering, I don't know when they will now sign off. And because of the body language of our dear president and our security chiefs, I don't know when they will consider that, okay, we need help. Those are my own concerns. And in terms of help, they have sophisticated gadgets. I mean, they use technology very well, because if you look at the American that was helped out,
That was
in Niger.
Yes.
It's all about technology, intelligence, and the use of technology, which I'm not too sure we have up to that. We all know that quite a lot of them, if they really want to talk to us, they will tell us that they don't have equipment. You understand? They don't have equipment. The other military guy that was on social media that was complaining. I mean, obviously, I know that video was not supposed to leak out, but somehow God, in His own in His own magnanimity, allowed it to leak out for us to know exactly what they are going through. They are there with ill equipment, weak equipment. They don't even have tires. They don't, quite a lot of things. So, for me, if they are truly, should I use the word repentant to say they need help, I know that it will not take them 24 hours to seek help. But I don't know if this is just the propaganda, Okay, this is what you Nigerians want to hear. Okay, let us tell you.
I'm trying to look at it from the point of view of the people who called in yesterday to say, oh, we may not need help. And so there are maybe two things or more. One can be, some people may be seeing it as a sign of weakness. Like, we've not even reached our potential of what we can do with our men here in the country.
Even the strong
and some other people may not even understand that help is not necessary. Help doesn't necessarily mean they are weak.
It's not.
Yes, it's not a sign of weakness. However, beyond help, maybe some people that called in on the show are looking more to empowerment, which is where I'm going to really come in from. So yes, we can have partnership, we can have help, but going forward, it's important that we also empower our people as much as possible.
Give them the adequate equipment.
Yes, the training,
the intelligence training, because that is what they need now.
Yes. All those other things, so that it's not any small thing we are jumping out for help, any little thing we are looking up for. However, that help, and that's, I will use the word partnership, is very important for the states that we have gotten to as a nation, because just like Darren was saying, we don't want to allow this. I don't even want to say, because the northern part of Nigeria is every part. It should affect everybody. But we don't want it to get to a certain, maybe southwest, and everybody is jumping around. So the earlier we take it as seriously as it is happening to our neighbor next door, as if it's happening to our neighbor next door, the better for us. And we just need to be proactive, and getting this partnership is important. Then having a long-term process of empowerment that is actually proven. Of course, not everything can be said in the media and shouldn't even be said. But then let us see progress some sort of way.
All right, let's take a few. Let's try and take some messages that we have here. Olu in Okearo says, Nigerian politicians are a pack of comedians. It is sad that for more than 8 months, jobs planned for 774,000 young Nigerians still remains a lip service. It has all been motions without movement. What's the big deal offering jobs to unemployed Nigerian youth for just 3 months? Now, wow, that's Olu Inokiaro sending that message and says, Dan, some months back, Katsina Governor, Army Commander, and Bandit Commander with AK-47 posed with picture when they signed a peace pact. He said that they are negotiating with the adopters. This thing is business for the boys. The government officials know these people and are benefiting from it. This is from Martins in Oshodi. All right, says, good morning. Now that NCC is trying to bring hardship on Nigerians with the issue of SIM card, they want to stop many people, even at the rural areas, from using a phone anymore. This country is a big siege by this government. Elder Johnson in the Mude. I'm not sure you have the full details of that story, but we're going to take it shortly. Israel in Ogijo says if Buhari cannot sack all this, the chief of staff, there is no need to hire external help. All the billions of equipments bought, can't the military use them better? Buhari is an employee of through all the government cadet, while most people die just because of an employee. All right, Israel in Ogijo says on job creation, Lawal Additional in Lagos says the issue is not about creating a sustainable job, but on how to agree on the modalities to employ them. It is proper to stop the work just because the National Assembly cannot have their way. Is it proper to stop the work because the National Assembly cannot have their way? That's a question that Lawal Additional in Lagos is asking this morning. It says Nigeria should stop blaming Buhari, but rather blame those gold diggers that sponsored him with their... Okay, I'm going to stop here. Thank you very much, Tony. Please, let's keep our messages very, very civil as much as possible. I beg of us. All right. Peter Sign Ogun State says the Senate threat to impeachment of the president is simply drawing a cotton wool over the eye of a citizen. The security situation in the country and the unwillingness and inability of the president to terminate the services of the service chiefs who have overstayed their tenure is more than enough to impeach the ineffectiveness of Mr. President. All right. Peter Sign Ogun State. There is impunity everywhere as people confront the police and others. The insecurity issue tend to be self-inflicted as hoodlums have gotten to shuttle security to scatter security summit in Kaduna despite having both retired and 7 police military officers. Don't we have security details at the venue? All right, JM Kazim in Obadori sending us that message. Now let's talk about the SIM card issue, which a lot of people have made comments on. So the federal government directs SIM card be linked to national identity number. So following the earlier directive issued by the Nigerian Communications Commission on the suspension of the new SIM card registration by network operators, the Minister of Communications and Digital Economy, Dr. Issa Pantami, on Monday issued a fresh directive that makes it compulsory for all SIM cards to be linked to national identity number. The minister who gave the fresh directive on Monday in Abuja when he convened an urgent meeting of key stakeholders in the communication industry gave telecommunication operators 2 weeks to link subscribers' registered SIM card to their network to their NIN, which is currently being issued by the National Identity Management Commission. The new directive further stated that the submission of the NIN by subscribers must take place within 2 weeks from today, December 16th, to the end of December, that's 30th of December. It also stated that after the deadline, all SIM card without NIN are to be blocked from the network. The ministerial task force comprising the minister and all telecom CEOs, among others, was constituted as members who will monitor compliance by all network. Meanwhile, telecom subscribers under the ages of the National Telecommunications Subscribers Association of Nigeria have called on the federal government to redirect the NCC to quickly lift the suspension order on the sale and activation of new SIM card across the network. Now, so the issue here is linking your SIM card to your NIN. And then we look at how many Nigerians have national identification number. Is this a smart talk from Issa Pantami? Is this a smart? I don't know. Sometimes I hear words from these individuals, and I wonder, where is the meeting? You had a meeting with key stakeholders in the telecommunication industry and gave them a directive. Where in this directive or in this meeting was the National Identification Management Commission seated to tell you every Nigerian has a national identification number? Do you know how many people do not have a national ID card?
As a matter of fact, I was even doing some registration some months ago, and I was telling person that should I give my NID? But no, your international passport. As a matter of fact, some Nigerians have not even embraced it yet as a form of identification. So collect about
I remember
going to
I was
do
in
it.
the bank one time and I wanted to use it to clear a particular payment. They said, "Don't bring your passport instead." And I was like, "This is it,"
This is
because I
it.
still had that paper. I don't have the plastic card, and the plastic card they will give you since how many years ago?
No.
I haven't-
That one.
I haven't still gotten it.
Yes, I've not gotten mine.
They haven't started issuing that. And I think they need to do things properly. Though, if you look at it, let's look at it from the right perspective. I'm not privy to the meeting, but if you look at it from the angle of insecurity and these fraudulent activities that are going on, everything is still around the SIM card, the SIM card. It's possible they have looked at it that, okay, if you must have a SIM card, right, then you must be properly identified. So indirectly, they are now pushing for the endorsement of the Nigerian identity card.
Yes.
You understand? Indirectly they are. But like Daniel said, how many people have it? So they should have probably asked the agency, how many people have it from these 200 million Nigerians? In fairness, I know quite a lot of, agencies. In fact, the agency, they've been going round, I mean, let's give it to them. But you see, at the attitude of we also Nigerians as well, until they tell us to do something by force, by fire, before we come up, you understand? But if you really look at it, they have good intention, but I think it's just the process around it. For instance, we're talking about SIM card. Immediately I had that, I called a friend of mine that I know is involved, in this business. And I said, why are they doing this? Yes, I have an idea of why they are doing it. A lot of atrocities have been committed in
True,
it.
of course.
Ideally, when you
Phones
want
and
to
all.
register, you are supposed to go to the shop and let them capture your face.
Okay.
But they now found out that people are not even doing it anymore. They are sending in pictures. They call it the picture in picture. You understand? Which is not right. You find out that some people are using fake addresses. You understand? Like he told me about a particular case of some man. By the time they checked his details, it was a woman's picture. You understand? So in clearing all that, and all these are doctors, use all kinds of symbols.
Okay.
Where did they get
So
it from?
I
You
understand.
Yes.
I
So that I can wrap it up. I mean, let's see the other point. In as much as we understand where they are going, it is not, I don't think it's right for them to say within 2 weeks. They should. I mean, if you don't have your NIM attached to your SIM cards will be blocked. Already, they have denied a lot of people of cards. It's not just the calling cards. It also affects any communication gadget that has the SIM. In fact, even the mobile data and all that also, it has affected them. So a lot of people are crying. So I want to believe that they should release that and embrace technology. Even if they want to use this NIM within 2 weeks, why can't they embrace technology? Why can't they just do a short code? You have your phone, and you have your details to your phone. So why can't you just give me a short code and let me key in my NIM? You're in there. Why must I now go and queue? Because now what they're telling us is that we should not begin to go to shops, to put it in there.
I didn't even aware that there's something called a coronavirus.
And
that's one.
That,
and so far, as we speak, we have less than 25% of this population registered under the NIM. How achievable is this?
And that's what makes it. That's what makes certain statement that's supposed to carry power,
like a joke,
remain a joke and a newspaper headline. Because look at how realistic is this, and that's even the perspective I want to come from. I definitely understand where they are going to. It's going to curb insecurity. I mean, it's something that's really, at this point in time, we're 60 in Nigeria. It's something that is not supposed to be a big talk. Linking form of ID, which in advanced nations we see that it's not so hard to be able to track a certain person if you are looking for them, which is something that they can achieve with this. But when you don't look at what is going on realistically, for example, I was able to do because I have a flexible schedule, but how many people in a corporate 9 to 5 have been able to leave their jobs to say, and I lined up to say I want to line up.
Look at what happened.
Like line up, where am I lining up?
for jam bites
Yeah.
to
Thank
ensure that
you.
they have, and look at the queue.
Yeah.
Look,
The
just look at the
crowd.
queue.
Yeah.
So when those things are just
And
not
that's like less than
realistic.
10. That's just about 1 million people who wanted to
Yeah.
take
Who
jam
wanted
exam.
to
Talk
take
less of
of
200
the
million.
whole nation. So just like you are already saying, instead of coming to give ultimatum, how about we speak more about the processes? Oh, we've made it easier by
Mhm.
XYZ. These certain people will come to offices in Ikoyi, offices in Arepo, offices
They
here.
don't let
So
them
make
use
it
short code
realistic.
service. It's possible.
Because for some reason, this technology, I don't know why it's being so slow. Honestly speaking, that's the
It
level we're
is
supposed
no,
to be.
it is
right
funny,
now.
my dear. I think if you unveil it, it's about incompetent people and corruption. If
Well,
you
I
ask-
think
it's supposed to
Pantami
be
is
the way.
under a lot of pressure, which I would agree on. Which
Yeah.
I would say, because I remember, I think about 2 weeks ago, he was questioned with regards to how
Yeah,
this
the kidnappers,
the kidnappers
yes.
are
No,
making use
and it's true.
of communication guys. He
It's
was
true.
questioned at the Senate for how they
Yeah.
are, how can
Yeah.
they're not able to trace to track and trace this
Yes.
number. So
So that's
he
why
had
what
been
you're
under a lot
coming up
of
with
pressure.
is
So
huge.
this might be from a pressure point.
No, I agree. I
It's
agree.
a good initiative, actually.
I totally agree, because the truth about it is that these people use SIM cards, and you'll be
Of
wondering that
course.
who registered them? Where is their address? You understand? Where is their location? You understand? So we have found out that the atrocities that are committed, like I explained to you, they just use different pictures, and even the people that are even manning it, get close to them. They do not follow laid down procedures.
Oh, that
Once
one
you
is
can give
sure.
them extra
That
money,
one is
some of the cards, even they will even pre-register it, and then they will ask you which one do you want.
Which one do you
Yes,
want?
understand?
apparently
So-
that happened to a
Yeah.
friend of mine.
So I totally agree. But like Nkechi said, it's
Yes.
a process.
Mhm.
I would advocate that let them sit with IT experts. Let them use the short code. I believe that once you can
There
think
are more
about it,
alternatives to
there
this.
is there. Because mind you, I am the owner of this phone, of this SIM card. I went to register it, so my name is there, my picture is there.
Of course.
So
yes.
if you give me a short code from my phone to say,
yes.
put in your NIM, it will go in.
Of course it would.
You understand? It will go in. So why would you
let
not
it just
put
be
us our
reviewed. Under
exactly?
so much pressure.
right.
It's not like things are so easy. People are trying to work, so they will come out from their
let
work
them
time
look at
again.
better
Alternatives.
I hope that
All
they're
right.
able to do that.
I think this is where we have to stop this morning. We have about 5 minutes to the end of the show this morning. And I want to say thank you to Nkechi Manalayode and to Bukifemi Ajala for joining us this morning. We hope that our government will pay attention to these details and begin to strategically consider the people in making their decision. They will not just blindly call urgent meetings and take decisions and expect it to happen. These are the reasons. There's a lot of analysis anticipating the second wave of the spread of this virus globally, and somebody just coming out of nowhere saying you have to have a national identity card number. If you don't have it, you can. When you hear some of these things, you're worried on how these people actually process their thoughts and what they actually think of. But I wouldn't totally blame them. They also are working under so much pressure. But on that note, we'll see you guys again tomorrow morning at exactly 8 o'clock on the newspaper review. Let's have a beautiful day and